Good evening. Thank you for coming tonight. My name is Pete Susi, and the images of the beautiful young woman on the screens that you're going to see in a moment is my granddaughter, Isabella White. She is the middle grandchild of 7 wonderful grandchildren my wife Priscilla and I have been blessed with. Apart from her inner and outer beauty, she is the toughest and maybe strongest is a better word, person I've ever met. Isabella is 16 now and has been riding weekly at Ironstone since just before she turned 2. Born prematurely, she suffers from cerebral palsy, which manifests itself for her in severely limited use of the right side of her body. That picture up there now sort of gives you a sense of what's in her spirit, with a thumbs up and a walker before she's 3 years old. Her physical challenges notwithstanding, today she gets herself to Melrose High School daily in her power chair, where she is a sophomore on the honor roll. In regular classes with everyone else in school. Isabella's journey from neonatal ICU to public high school and some Special Olympics silver medals at Ironstone events did not happen through the magic snapping of fingers. Isabella's mother, our daughter Kristen, was relentless in searching out whatever medical team, therapy, and/or activity might help prepare her daughter for the fullest, most independent life that her particular set of physical challenges would permit. Early on, Kristen learned about the concept of therapeutic riding and the work at Ironstone Farm. After consultation with her medical team and Dee O'Brien, it was determined that Isabella would be a good candidate for trying it out. She took to it at once and soon had a favorite horse and favorite therapists. But quite amazingly, just through riding for a half hour once a week without fanfare or coaching, Isabel's developed trunk strength where virtually none had existed. And while the staff at Ironstone certainly knew the likelihood of more good benefits to come, her family was thrilled to continue to bring her just because she liked it so much. Isabella's life to date has been filled with all the pain and difficulties that some of you can imagine right now, and stuff that most people have never heard of. The most recent and severe event for her involved back surgery about 2.5 years ago, which was in fact critically necessary, by the way, but it kept her on the operating table for 16 straight hours. When she came out of anesthesia and realized the extent of what had been done and that her recovery would be a long, hard journey rather than the short-term discomfort she had been counting on, her spirit plummeted and her anger shot through the roof. But I did not agree to talk about Isabella tonight to seek sympathy for her or anything like that. Rather, I welcome the opportunity to point out that in addition to the day-to-day, week-to-week, tangible, measurable, and awful joyful benefits therapeutic riding at Ironstone delivers, there are even unexpected benefits whose impact cannot begin to be quantified for all of the Isabellas who ride here. And what was that magic, unexpected benefit to Isabella that Ironstone offered? Well, when her spirits were at their absolute lowest, her mother was able to tell her that Ironstone had set some recovery benchmarks that she had to meet in her physical therapy in order to start riding again. And further, if she met them, she could return to riding on a set date shortly after school started that year. her entire demeanor changed. I watched her spirit and fight come back. I watched her smile and laugh come back. This while she was still confined to bed for the better part of every 24 hours, as well as still needing pain medication. She hit the benchmarks on schedule and returned on schedule. She was the Isabella we remembered, just happier and wiser. She also celebrates Fusion Day each year, now on the anniversary of her total spinal fusion. She also knows the definition of second opinion. More than ever, after she came back to Ironstone to ride weekly again, I began to watch all of the other children who were at the farm every Saturday and notice how the challenges and or handicaps faced by each were as different as the individuals themselves. Like snowflakes, no two of these children are identical or have identical conditions needing attention. But the therapy from the horses, guided by the caring staff and volunteers, works on each of the children as well as the adult veterans, I'm sure, in very similar ways. The riders are almost always transported away from their otherwise unrelenting burden for the time they are on that horse, and they are somehow stronger and more able to deal with their burden for the following week. Sounds like no big deal to many, but when you are trapped in a body that will not work like everyone else's seems to, that boost of morale, self-esteem, and self-image is a bigger deal than most any of us can comprehend. These children and the veterans are going to be with us for a long time, and there will be more of them. Society produces a steady supply. They are the reason Ironstone needs to be here for a long, long time to come. And that is the reason we are all here tonight. Ironstone needs to be here, strong and healthy. As a grandfather speaking for an unknown someone who is not a grandparent yet, but will be in 20 years and will surely be in the same position I'm in now. Please support Ironstone tonight and come again next year. And when you come here next year, please bring 2 people with you who aren't here tonight. Thank you very much.
Pete, thank you. That was beautiful. It was just absolutely so eloquent and so perfectly stated. Thank you for sharing. Isabella is a beautiful and lucky young woman, and we all are to have you with us tonight. And so what I'd like to do now, ladies and gentlemen,